Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope you guys are doing good. I slept really well. I'm a little energetic right now. Been doing the fruit and veggie cleanse, so trying my best to keep that going. Feel a little weak, but system is being cleaned out, which is always a good thing. Always a good thing. Spoke to someone about um, their overall health. And I could tell you, man, a lot of folks are making sure that they are much healthier. And sometimes healthy means detoxing for a little bit, eating better, drinking more water, leaving um, bad food alone. And we kind of know what bad food is because we're in sometimes of a routine. We tend not to do it, but that's something I like about my friends. They're very physically, mentally, spiritually. They try to be as healthy as possible. One of the things that I gravitate towards. So um, I'm liking the people that I'm around. I'm trying to clean up some bad things that I've done and bad things that I'm doing to my body. You know, that's important too. When you're doing a detox is not just you cleaning your physical system, but you're also reaching out to people that you hurt or you've done some bad things to. So it's hard, man, but it's what you need to cleanse, right? So with that, let's see. Let's read this verse. Ephesians 4, verse 15. Rather, let your lives lovingly express truth. Enfolded in love, let us grow up in every way, in all things, into Him who is the head, Christ, the Messiah, the Anointed One. Ephesians 4, verse 15. Living a life of truth is the title of the devotion. Ephesians 4, rather let our lives lovingly express truth, enfolded in love, let us grow up in every way, in all things, into Him who is the head, Christ, the Anointed One. Okay. Living a life of truth. Living a life of truth. It begins, Satan is the deceiver, and his goal is to prevent us from walking in the truth. But Jesus came that we might know the truth, and He said the truth would make us free. When I began to seriously study God's Word, I found that I had a life built on deception and lies. I believed many things that simply were not true. And let me tell it to you, man. Yet they were true for me because I believed them. Yeah, lies become our reality if we believe them. For example, I believed I could never overcome my past, but God's word taught me that I could let go of what was behind and learn to enjoy the good life God had planned for me. Yeah, this is the part that is a work in process because there are certain things we stick to. We put that belief in our minds, and it's hard to get away. Once we put the belief in our mind, it's hard to get away. So sometimes it's tough. But when you really and that's why hope is important, faith is important, the belief in God is important because it helps you get over those things, those lies that we put in our heads. It's like we could overcome that. It is important for us to know the truth and apply it to our lives. It is also important to tell the truth in all situations and to be truthful with ourselves about our motives and actions. Yeah, I am someone who has had to talk with other people about how I felt, my intentions, what my goals were, um, And sometimes it just feels like because someone else has their goals and their intentions, sometimes the reconciliation of what you want and what I really want, just it's not here. So I've had those conversations, right? Like being truthful about your intention as opposed to making it look like something else and your intention is different. We can't do stuff like that where our actions are different from our intentions if we're trying to be like good people. So, um, and sometimes you got to talk to yourself like, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want to do? What do you want to be? Where you want to be? What do you want to do? Who do you want to be around? Why? Why? Any person who makes a commitment to live truly will learn many things about him or herself, some of which may not be pleasant. Even though it is difficult to face truth at times, it is also wonderful to be free from lies and deception. I spent many years blaming my problems on other people, but the truth was that I had a bad attitude and a lot of bitterness from my past. And I think a lot of us could relate. It was painful to face, but the truth ultimately set me free and brought healing into my life. I encourage you to join me in praying daily that God will reveal truth to us in every situation and give us the courage to face it. A few days ago, Dave and I had a heated conversation, and I was sure it was his fault until I asked God to show me truth in the situation. When I did, God revealed to me that I had created the situation by saying several things that were totally useless and that put Dave on the defensive. Let me tell you, sometimes I tell folks that words are not important, action is. But the honest truth is they're both important. If you say something to someone that triggers, I mean, it triggers either a positive reaction or a negative reaction. Or some people might be indifferent. They're like, whatever. And then, you wait a few months, years, and then they're bringing up something that you thought was like whatever. But they're both important, words and action, right? So sometimes we say things in the heat of an argument or a discussion that puts someone else in a defense or puts someone else in an offense. I could tell you, man, there is a lot that comes of that. And I've experienced it even recently. And I'm trying my best to be able to forgive very quickly. But it's hard because sometimes we feel those words are an attack. And it could be a culmination of other attacks that make just one little word just make you explode. So it's very difficult. And I know that's something I pray about now, to not allow people's words and actions make me feel a certain way or make me do certain things. It's hard, but we have to push forward. Otherwise, you're gonna spend a whole life being mad at every word, every action someone does, and you're gonna be easily triggered. And you don't want to do that with folks, especially the folks that you keep in your life. Now, if you get them away from you, that's fine. But don't think that you're going to find somebody else that's not going to trigger something in you. Triggers happen. So you got to learn how to deal with those. That wasn't what I wanted to hear, but it will help me not to make the same mistake again. Truth is very valuable. Let's be committed to living a life of truth. Now, living a life of truth is important. I think the way you say things, again, going back to words and actions, the way you say your truth, the way you act your truth is important as well, right? Like people say, package it in a way that is digestible. if you can't package it that way people could receive it positively, even if you have the truth in that package, it comes off in a negative way. So package it in a positive way, give all the disclaimers, you know what I mean? And give your truth in word or in action or thought. And I think, that leaves for a really good life, to be honest. So here we go. Prayer of the day. Father, I ask you to reveal truth to me in every situation in my life and to give me courage to face it. That's a good one. Thank you. All right. I'm going to leave you guys with that. Living a life of truth. Words, actions, and thoughts. All right? God bless.